My husband.
Police are at the auto repair shop owned by Harvey and Melissa Huber after Melissa placed a 911 call earlier that day. She reported that her husband, Harvey, had not answered calls or messages for 2 days, and she feared the worst. At first, officers assumed they were dealing with a routine missing persons case, but what they uncovered would turn out to be far more twisted and disturbing than anyone could have imagined.
What do you think right now? Where do you think that Harvey is right now?
In Harvey's last known contact, he was reportedly furious after an argument with one of their employees.
I have way more digital evidence than you would ever imagine. The goose is up, dude.
Some of Harvey's friends and employees had witnessed the argument and tried to calm him down.
You sitting there? You sitting there? Fuck every motherfucker. Fuck Melissa. Fuck y'all.
This is Harvey. He's fucking freaking out.
But after that night, he disappeared without a trace. On the afternoon of February 26, 2020, officers from the Georgetown Police Department met with Melissa Crawford Huber, who reported that her husband, Harvey Huber, had been missing since 9:30 p.m. the previous evening.
Okay. Don't worry. Everybody's working.
You know, where are you going? Did you drink it here?
We drink here. And I've got the young man. It's in there. Joshua! He was up here with him along with 2 other guys. This was the last person we saw him. And it was, what time was it? What was the time when you and Harvey had
Probably, because
about 9:30?
Yeah, I got a phone
I'd have to look mine up off too. It's just that, you know, we waited today because
right.
I expected him to hear from him, but it's gone today.
Joshua, a friend of Melissa's son, Philip, had been living with the couple and working at their business, Huber Auto Repair. As Joshua, Melissa, and other friends and employees guided officers through the events leading up to the disturbing discovery, a series of initial pieces of evidence began to surface.
Wally was sitting right on the edge of the seat with the window down. And they said when I walked in there, he was sitting right on the counter with his hands and lighter. Okay, so that was all in here. Yeah, right beside our house. So the key was going on the left. Wallet on the seat of the big wallet on the seat outside.
I got here afterwards.
Yeah.
Melissa shares with the officers that it was unusual for her husband to leave without cigarettes. She had found the shop locked that morning, and yet, somehow, Harvey had disappeared. But there was one missing item from the store that had been bothering everyone.
What was that? This car,
It had a tarp on it.
This car always had a tarp on it.
And there was rocks on it, holding it down, and now the rocks have been moved where they were, and the tarp completely covered up all the way.
At first, the missing brown tarp seemed insignificant. But as the case progressed, that tarp would reveal a horrifying truth. Despite multiple search efforts by officers and concerned community members scouring local jails, businesses, hotels, and hospitals, there was still no sign of Harvey. It was as if he had vanished without a trace. But just when it seemed that the case was going cold, a shocking twist jolted the investigation. The very next day, Harvey's son, Philip, was jolted by a chilling message. A ransom demand for $9,000. Threatening his father's life in exchange for his release. However, investigators soon realized that the threat was a scam, since Philip had posted his phone number on social media. Determined to uncover what led to Harvey's disappearance, investigators spoke with Melissa at the station. Melissa walks the officers through her life with Harvey, how they fell in love as high school sweethearts and built a marriage that spanned 30 years. Together, they ran Huber Auto Repair in Georgetown for several years, and Harvey had become a well-known and beloved figure in the community.
Walk me through this weekend and what happened.
Well, I mean, Monday's a regular, Tuesday was a regular day, except that, you know, him and a few friends stayed up there, and Harvey drinks, and, you know, the stress, I think, it's drinking has exceeded, you know, quite a bit, I'd say, in the past couple of months. But whiskey's, you know, what he drinks, and
What kind of whiskey?
usually Jim Beam, black. I don't know what they were drinking. There was a bottle in the office. It may still be there. It was Josh, Dan, Mike Sills were the people that were there. I know Jimmy came up there a few times. I had a hair appointment, showed back up there about 6, well, my hair appointment was at 4, so about 6-ish. And I grabbed a few things because I was going home to work on our taxes, because we have some tax stuff that I should be working on. But of course that's right now not important, but that's what I went and did. And I was at home working on that, and Harvey called me and told me that him and Josh had gotten into a disagreement. They had, you know, gotten on a talk of religion. And
According to Melissa, Harvey sounded agitated during the phone call, upset over an argument with Josh. After Josh stormed out of the store, she contacted Jimmy Cherner, a family friend who worked at a nearby tow truck shop and was a frequent visitor at the Huber auto repair shop.
Josh was a traitor, you know, and Harvey has some little outbursts when he drinks. So it's nothing out of the norm to think, you know, tomorrow's going to be another day and we'll just go on. You know, everything will be all right. But so he told Josh to leave, get out of the truck and go. And that's what happened, from my understanding. I tried to get him to just stop and just talk about it the next day. I called Josh to see what was going on, and he was walking down the road and didn't know where to go. He said something about contacting Jimmy to see if Jimmy, you know, maybe he could ride around with Jimmy. I think eventually he got a hold of Dan, and that's how he ended up at Dan's. Jimmy talked to him, asked him if he wanted him to come pick him up, and I think he was going to Dan's. And I talked to Jimmy in the process of all this as well.
Okay.
At one point,
Shortly after speaking with Joshua and Jimmy, Melissa tried calling Harvey again. Though they didn't speak, she confirmed that his phone was still working. Investigators then asked Melissa to elaborate on their relationship with him. Melissa explained that Josh is their son Philip's friend and has been living with them since his mother moved to New York.
Josh isn't a threat. I'm not worried about Josh at all. I mean, that's just the way I feel. I would be very surprised if Josh hurt Harvey in any way. I just don't see that. You know, Harvey was like a father figure to a lot of kids, and we had people we took care of that came and lived with us. Harvey Pittman, as a child, that one of the first kids we took into our home, you know. It's just, Josh is just like one of our kids.
And is Josh, does he live with y'all right now?
Yes.
Okay. So he's been living with y'all for, we'll go out there in a minute.
I don't know, that's somebody else. My phone's been ringing like
okay.
crazy. Do
you want to turn the mute on?
I sure can.
You don't mind?
I can turn it off if you want me to.
You can put the mute on, it's fine.
Let me turn my watch off too, because it'll go off.
Okay, so he's living with you right now. How long has he been living with you, like basically continuously?
Probably about 3 months now. He left for a little bit. Josh he had a drug problem, and he was trying to get away from it. And you know, Harvey's pretty good at being real stern about stuff, and you know, we helped him clean up.
Harvey wanted Josh off the dope.
Yeah, we want, because like I said, he's like one of our kids. We want him to succeed.
Yeah.
And
As the conversation progresses, Melissa opens up about the strain in her marriage caused by Harvey's ongoing drinking problem. But it's the revelation of a secret relationship outside her marriage that truly grabs the investigators' attention.
special relationship with Jimmy.
Tell us about that.
Just, you know, he came around and he was nice. He'd bring me water, bring me stuff, gave me compliments, and, you know, he just was a nice person.
Yeah, and I don't know.
He just was, you know, real easy to talk to, listen to me. And
Was Harvey okay with your relationship?
yeah,
with
he
Jimmy?
was friends with Harvey too,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
So,
But did he know how close your relationship was?
no, probably not to the extent. He knew we were good friends. You know, Jimmy gave me a radar detector after he said he didn't use it. You know, he did things for me. People said that they felt that he has, you know, feelings. There were feelings.
So,
As the interview with Melissa wraps up, she shares one final detail that continues to trouble everyone.
What do you think right now? Where do you think that Harvey is right now?
No.
Did anything over there at the business get damaged?
The phone and the credit card machine.
Okay.
And there was a tarp missing. You know, when I noticed it that morning, that my son-in-law's car that Harvey had been working on always had, it was covered because the hood was off and the windows were down, you know, so it was protected from weather and stuff. And you look out the window and it's kind of an eyesore, so it catches your eye. But I looked down and we have a vintage Dr. Snook's Corvette and it had a tarp on it. So I was like, why did Harvey move? And then it's like, it's the vet stuff. But then later on, they said they noticed it was gone and that wasn't the tarp. It was actually a brown tarp that was gone. And everybody was like, well, there was high winds, but that tarp was held down with rocks. So that was really weird because the tarp, from what I understand, is nowhere to be found. And the detective felt like it would have been in trees or something.
Investigators collect Melissa's phone and receive her permission to search both the couple's residence and their business property. As the investigation intensifies, detectives begin interviewing everyone who had contact with Harvey the night he disappeared. They also reach out to neighboring businesses, requesting surveillance footage in the hopes of uncovering a critical lead. But it's one conversation with a local business owner and what he claims to have seen that night that leaves the investigators reeling. David, an old friend of Harvey's and the owner of a shop just 1,300 feet away, tells investigators that he reviewed his surveillance footage from the night that Harvey vanished, and what he saw set off immediate concern. While Joshua had initially left the property at around 9 p.m., the CCTV camera recorded him returning to the store sometime after 9:30 p.m. Despite Melissa's unwavering trust in Joshua, the evidence painted a far different picture. Witness testimonies confirm the heated argument between Joshua and Harvey, with Joshua storming out of the store. Combined with his struggles with substance use, his access to the store, and now the damning surveillance footage, it had become clear that Joshua was somehow involved in Harvey's disappearance. 2 days after Harvey vanished, a chilling tip came in from John Hammonds, owner of Tiptoe, the tow company where Jimmy worked. Hammonds had noticed a dried red substance smeared across the bed of their white 2018 Hino tow truck. When crime scene specialists tested this liquid, the results came back presumptive positive for human blood. But what truly sent a jolt through the investigation was that Jimmy had been driving that very tow truck the night Harvey disappeared. But just when investigators thought that they'd uncovered the worst, Hammonds called again the very next day, this time with a revelation so disturbing that it would blow the case wide open and confirm their deepest suspicions. The morning Harvey was reported missing, Rito, an employee at Tiptoe, made a chilling discovery. Inside the white 2018 Hino tow truck that Jimmy had been driving, he found a 4x4 piece of wood that, in his words, quote, smelled like death. Disgusted by the rotting smell, Rito threw it away in the property's trash can. But when he told Hammonds what he'd found, Hammonds retrieved the wood and immediately contacted investigators with the unsettling information. When investigators spoke to Jimmy on site, his odd behavior and evasive answers raised red flags. To dig deeper into his possible involvement, they assigned a surveillance team to monitor his movements, both on the night that Harvey vanished and in the days that followed, hoping to uncover any suspicious patterns. While tracking Jimmy's phone, investigators discovered that he had stopped at a Walmart the night that Harvey vanished. Surveillance footage confirmed this as Jimmy was seen pulling into the parking lot in the same white tow truck, making a quick purchase, and then driving off. But this was just the beginning of a string of grim revelations that would unravel the horrifying truth behind the case. On March 3rd, 2020, exactly 1 week after Harvey went missing, investigators zeroed in on a drainage tunnel near the area where Jimmy's phone had been tracked. What they discovered inside that tunnel shocked even the most seasoned officers and turned the investigation on its head. Inside the tunnel, investigators found a scene straight out of a nightmare. A dark, dried substance that appeared to be blood stained the concrete. Drag marks trailed through the grime, leading to fragments of the tarp that had gone missing. And even more horrifying, pieces of human remains. DNA reports would later confirm the remains to be Harvey's. It was the confirmation they had dreaded but anticipated. Harvey Huber had been murdered, and the evidence pointed squarely at Joshua and Jimmy. Any remaining doubt was erased over the next 2 days. Updated cell data showed Jimmy's phone pinging repeatedly near the tunnel site. Surveillance teams also caught him returning multiple times, performing what appeared to be heat checks, nervously scanning the area, as if making sure that the secret he'd buried stayed hidden. As if the case needed any more incriminating proof, surveillance footage from a nearby school delivered a devastating blow. The footage captured the same tow truck that Jimmy had driven on the night of Harvey's murder, pulling away from the store. The missing brown tarp from the store was spread across the truck's bed, covering what seemed to be a human body. But with the body still missing and no murder weapon recovered, it became crucial to close in on the suspects. Determined to uncover the truth, investigators quickly summoned Joshua for an interview. After speaking at length about his relationship with the Huber family, Joshua shares his opinion about Jimmy.
I don't know how his heart is, but on paper and by history, yeah.
What kind of a guy is he?
He seemed cool. Me and him kind of, hey, what's up? I never trusted the gentleman, and he never trusted me as far as I know. Because that was, somebody told me that one day, like, Jimmy doesn't know what to think about you. I said, I don't know what to think about him either. I've always kept my eye on him, you know. I didn't like his respect towards a woman.
His respect towards a woman?
Yeah, as far as his eyes go.
Oh,
like I've watched him sit there,
looking up and down, and just kind of like...
Given that Jimmy had served 26 years in prison for a past crime, a fact that Melissa had confirmed, Joshua expressed doubt that Jimmy was involved in Harvey's disappearance. As Joshua relays the events of that day again, he doesn't yet know that the investigators already have damning evidence, and that they're about to confront him with it.
Josh, you got any reason to be dishonest with us?
No.
Have you been?
Oh yeah.
100% truthful?
I've been. Harvey's life is on this, and I feel like that happened on my time, sir. I know I have not been dishonest with you. But connect the dots, put things together.
I've been looking at all the video. You know, there's cameras all around that area. There's cameras on Keep Smart. There's cameras on the high school.
So those cameras put me in the damn shop.
I can prove that you're lying, Josh.
I'd like to know how that is.
I'll be happy to tell you.
Okay.
Sitting here talking with you, you made several statements. You've been trying to rehearse in your mind how you're going to handle things, what you're going to say, but you can't rehearse every single thing. You understand? You made slip-ups, several slip-ups in your statements. And I can prove that you're lying. Now, I think Harvey lost his temper, and you defended yourself.
Okay. Well then, if Harvey lost his temper, I defended myself, then why would I go back?
And I believe...
Can you answer that question for me right now?
Listen to me. I believe that Jimmy helped you clean up the mess. And you're trying to put this on Jimmy, but I can prove otherwise. just telling you here, sitting here telling you that I think that you are. I'm telling you I can prove it. Okay.
As the officer lays out the mounting evidence against Joshua, he stubbornly clings to his innocence, refusing to back down or admit any involvement in Harvey's disappearance.
No, sir.
Yes, you are.
You got surveillance. You got me. You know, everybody knows where I went, where I walked. I've never touched that man. And on top of that, if I self-defend myself, why would I come back?
Josh, you're lying to me. I'm sitting here. I'm telling you.
What you think?
No.
You tell me I'm lying.
No.
You tell me what you think. You're not telling me what you actually have, sir.
Let me tell you something, Josh. I am not bullshitting you. I have way more digital evidence than you would ever imagine. The goose is up, dude.
As Joshua denies all these accusations, the ranger doubles down on the evidence. By the way, if you're finding this video interesting so far, please do us a favor. Make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, and help us get to 1 million subscribers. Now, let's dive back in.
Did you intend to kill him?
I never touched Harvey Huber, sir.
You're lying. You're sitting there lying to me, and I can prove it.
I don't know what it is that...
You think that you can beat the physical evidence? You think you can beat the digital evidence? Josh, you're wrong. You are absolutely 100% wrong. I have processed the crime scene. I have collected the physical evidence. I have pieces of Harvey. I have pieces of his body. Do you understand me? What I don't appreciate you lying to me.
I'm not lying to you, sir.
Yeah, you are. You slipped up, Josh. You slipped up earlier when you told me what Jimmy said to you. I was at Home Depot when that happened.
Yeah, I know. I'm solving any question about it.
You know you slipped up.
And that wasn't a slip up.
It was.
I had to think about how I had to...
You had to think
when
about
I asked
how you
him,
can justify it.
Yeah, because that didn't register in my mind. It was still first thing in the morning when that was the usual.
Your story, like I said, you can only pre-plan your story so much, but you can't plan so much where you're going to be able to not make a mistake, and that's one of those little mistakes. When you were walking to the Chevron, you mentioned that you were going to go back to Dan's, which means you were at Dan's earlier and you left. You went back to Dan's.
No, I walked straight from the shop to the store.
No, I understand. No, I know that. I know that.
I was going to go to Dan's regardless.
I know, but listen to me. You said going back to Dan's because you were at Dan's earlier. You did go to Dan's. You went back to the shop later that night, and then you went back to Dan's, and you finished sleeping the night off over there. Yeah, you did. Yes, you did. Mm-hmm. You know what happened, Josh, and you're hiding it from me. Okay? If Jimmy did it, tell me if Jimmy did it. You know what fucking happened.
I don't know what happened, sir.
You do know what happened, and you're lying to me.
When Joshua continues to resist, the ranger tries a different method in an attempt to get him to confess.
You told her what happened?
My mother? I told her that Harvey's missing. On Wednesday morning when she contacted me.
What's she gonna find out when you got arrested for first-degree murder?
I don't know what.
What's she gonna say? What about your brother? He'd be pretty disappointed in you. I don't think you did first-degree murder, Josh. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
I'm 110%.
Okay, Then tell me what happened so we don't have to charge you with that.
Nothing happened between me and Harvey. I swear to God.
You're sitting there lying to me, Josh. God dang it, son. You got your whole life ahead of you. Don't make a stupid decision right now and sit there and think that if you keep saying that, it's going to save you. You went back over there and you met Jimmy. And y'all loaded up that body. You loaded up Harvey in that tarp.
No.
Yeah, you did.
Not at all. Not at all. Not one single bit.
You're lying.
Sorry. No, I'm not.
For the rest of the interview, Joshua continues to defend himself and talks at length about his struggles with substance use. While unable to get a confession from Joshua, the investigators shift their focus to Jimmy. Just as they do, Tiptoe's owner, John Hammonds, provides a shocking recording that makes investigators reconsider Joshua's role in the crime. The recording reveals Jimmy's growing anxiety about the investigation and his impending fate.
Yeah, if it ever comes down to it, and you know, if I ever do get arrested, but you know what? They might not ever arrest me. They might always just be sitting there and just let me go, and you know, and just keep me monitored, and just see if something ever happens.
Well, that's the thing I was trying to tell you the other day, man. Is don't run, because
I'm not gonna run.
If you run, then that's just going to make it look like you're guilty.
No, but I'm probably gonna still live with my mom or whatever still, and then I'm probably gonna get a job way off somewhere, maybe like 30 miles off every day. My scooter, it can go a long ways. It's like a motorcycle, but I'm gonna drive back and forth. But I do believe what everybody's told me, it's 50-50. It's a verge of being arrested, but the verge of not. It's right in between. They're calculating if we take him to trial on something because of the criminal history and everything, can we convict him? That's what they're thinking. But if we take him to trial, then it's going to make us all look like dumbasses. You know what I'm saying? But Josh did ask for a gun that night. That's what somebody told me. I have on the phone, he's asked for somebody for a gun. See what I'm saying? In other words, if I said I did anything, just don't look at me. Look at Josh. Look at Mike Seals has been for 30 years. That don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? I understand I have a criminal history, but you gotta look too at the whole situation. I mean, if you said I did something, anything period, then where's the body and where's the murder weapon? Or a murder weapon, or if he was kidnapped, or if he was raped, or if he was robbed, or whatever, where in the fuck is the evidence? You know what I'm saying? And I asked him in the trailer when I was getting the cops here, I said, man, do ballistics on my hands. You know, because I'm not technically allowed to carry a gun legally. I said, do ballistics on my hands. And they didn't.
Jimmy claims that Harvey constantly mistreated Melissa and insists that he was always protecting her. But when Hammonds presses him to confess, he deflects and changes the subject.
All I can say, Jimmy, is if you were involved or if you know anything about it, the best thing that you can do is plead your case and let them know what you know and try to beg for the best deal possible. Is the only thing I can tell you. You know, I know it's a shitty situation, and I got two things in my mind, and that's helping prove your innocence if I can. And where is Harvey? You know, where is the man? I mean, I like Harvey. I'm not going to say he was a great person, especially the stuff that you shared with me here recently about him and Melissa. But, you know, I know Harvey, and I know Harvey would have done anything for me, just like you. You know, I mean, he was a good person to me and never did me wrong. And, I mean, I don't want to see anybody missing like that, you know?
In a shocking twist, during the interview at the store, Jimmy admitted returning to Huber Auto Repair at 10 p.m. on the night of Harvey's murder. This made him the last known person to see Harvey alive. Realizing the gravity of this situation, the investigators immediately brought him to the station for further interrogation. But if they thought that getting Jimmy to confess would be easy, they were in for a long night.
So basically all the stuff that you told Detective Shoemake about what happened on Tuesday and when and where you were, I don't know any of that. I just want you to start over with Tuesday.
I'm not going to do that.
No.
But he already got everything.
But if I'm talking to you, how do I don't know any of that.
He has all his notes wrote down already.
Can you at least tell me?
He has all his notes. There's no reason to go over it again.
Okay.
As Jimmy insists on speaking only with the lead detective, the officer uses a different tactic to get him to talk.
Well, I'll tell you what. Tell me about Melissa then. If you don't want to talk about, if you don't want to retell, tell me about her, man. Tell me about her.
She's a good person. She's a sweetheart.
How long y'all known each other?
Probably about a year and a half. She's a good person, though. She's good to her kids and good to her grandkids.
How many grandkids she got?
5.
Oh, from how many? She got a couple kids?
Yeah.
You said earlier she had a
She has
couple
a daughter
kids.
and a son.
Where do they live at?
One lives in Bartlett, the son, and the other one lives in Hutto.
So fairly close then. And she lives in Bartlett all the time? That's where her house is? How long y'all been together? Relationship-wise?
For a while. I don't know exact months, but it's been a while.
Had anything to do with Harvey going missing because she's been abused?
No.
Not at all. There's no doubt in your mind.
No. No. No.
You're not just saying that because you love her, right? That's how you truly feel. She would never do that.
She would never hurt nobody like that. She would never hurt nobody physically.
Yeah.
Unless she was defending herself.
Right. Well, you know that happens too.
No.
People defend themselves and people get hurt because they're not treating them right.
Soon after, as the ranger returns to the station, he uses Jimmy's trust in him to dig deeper in an attempt to discover the twisted motive behind Harvey's brutal murder.
You know, she's told me like she's broke. I said, you know what, I love you through any criteria.
Yeah.
I told her I'm willing to live like a dog, eat a can of beans, 1 banana, and a half a gallon of milk the rest of my life. Just as long as I'll give up everything for it, just so you can have what you need.
And did Harvey ever suspect anything or?
No.
No? Y'all just kept it real discreet.
Yeah, but he accuses her of cheating with Tim Burgess, whatever, somebody that comes, works on the car. And then this other guy, but he drinks. He goes into a different mindset. He blackens out, Accusing her going to the Walmart gas station, going home, he goes and gets some water, and then he'll think, are you going in? What are you in there? He said, you in there with your Sancho? I mean, your Sancho?
No shit.
Where'd that come from?
For the next 10 minutes, Jimmy shares more about his relationship with Melissa and his love for her.
Melissa enjoy spending time with you more than Harvey? Does she feel safer with you?
She trusts me with her life.
She does.
Because I love her. I love her.
She seems like a good woman, Jimmy.
I love her, man. I'll live like a dog the rest of my life so she can be happy.
She seems like a damn good woman.
As Jimmy rambles on, the ranger asks where he thinks Harvey could be.
Where do you think Harvey's at?
I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, that's the deal. We're trying to find this dude. I mean, he's missing.
But wait, and he's sober. He's calm and everything. But once he starts drinking, he molds into a different person.
He's like just complete changes. I mean,
He's just
two-faced. Like he's normal when he's.
It's like he goes into a different body, a different mind.
Man, where do you think we should look for Harvey? Where do you think we'd find him? Is there a place he likes to hide? Or?
He has one. He usually goes. Josh and Harvey usually go home together, and they drive the same road.
Jimmy soon deflects, shifting the conversation to Harvey's usual route home and his own life as a trucker. The ranger steers it back, pressing once again on the events of the night when Harvey was killed.
Mike took off. So then Harvey's still there, right? Is anybody else still there?
No. Harvey's arguing with Josh.
Okay.
Then I said, man, I was thinking in my mind, I got to go.
You gotta get out of here.
Motherfucker started, he's wasted. He's straight wasted.
Okay.
So, you know, no matter what you tell him, he's always right.
He ain't gonna listen to you.
So I said, I got to go.
He's already switched over from his normal self to his drunk self.
His eyes are glazed.
No shit.
Man.
So then he had to been drinking. So then it's already getting late. So he's probably already started drinking after the shop was closing down. Is that right? Or
man, he started a long time for that. Yeah, I mean, after the shop closed, he don't ever drink during the day when the business is out.
So then Harvey tells Josh, "Get the fuck out of here."
But I didn't see that part because, you know, Melissa told me on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I took off because I know they always sort of, I said, man, I got to go.
Yeah.
Same old shit.
So Josh went walk.
So I seen, so the gate's still open. Harvey's truck's it. And then so I said, I'm going to pull over it. So I pulled over there. So I'm hauling through the door. They can't open up the door. And sometimes I said, what's up? So you look at the door, they put that new part in. So there used to be a wall over there. They cut that out, so then it goes into one of the bays. Yeah. But it's like a room.
Okay.
I said, what's up, man? And so, what's going on? And then I told him, he said, man, what you said, man?
Fuck every motherfucker. Fuck Melissa. Fuck y'all.
This is Harvey. He's fucking freaking out.
But Melissa told me he already smashed the
credit card machine.
Yeah, I mean, he's bam, smacked his pieces, fucking all. They got there in the morning, piece was, it was kind of green. Pieces all over the shit. The cops didn't see that because pieces are all over and everywhere. He got smashed it.
No shit. So he's cursing at you.
And the phone too, the phone part.
Yeah. Jimmy tells the ranger that Harvey, in a fit of rage, had contemplated taking his own life, and that he had talked him out of it. But Jimmy never confesses to the killing, nor does he reveal where Harvey's body or the murder weapon is. The real breakthrough, however, comes a week later, when investigators speak with Jimmy's former employer, Eddie. In a chilling account, Eddie claims that Jimmy told him outright, quote, "I killed Harvey." He went on to describe how Jimmy struck Harvey in the head with a hatchet and then took his body to the drainage site where he dismembered it. Jimmy allegedly said that he couldn't take Harvey insulting and hitting Melissa anymore. A chilling motive that Melissa had hinted at during her earlier interview with the ranger.
Yeah,
What
because Jimmy spent 26 years in prison, so he stayed away from Harvey, but, I think he's someone that needs to be looked at.
Why I understand you said he was in prison.
Because he didn't like the way Harvey talked to me sometimes, so
How would Harvey talk to you?
2 years later, Jimmy pleaded guilty to first-degree murder of Harvey Huber in exchange for a plea deal. Jimmy was sentenced to 60 years in prison and is currently incarcerated at the Williamson County Jail. Joshua was never charged in this case and found to be innocent. Now, if you think this case was horrific, you need to check out my video on the guy who thought that he could get away with killing his date.